Welcome everybody to the finals of the ZOTAC Cup. The ZOTAC Cup, of course, is a free tournament, you guys. Every week, Saturday and Sunday, there's a North American and a European version. It's open to all brackets, any league, whether you're Bronze, Grandmaster, doesn't matter. You can sign up, play, and have some fun. But of course, there's $100 on the line. Well, actually, €100 on the line, as this is the European Cup for these players. And this is Rifkin. I'm casting with Zeph. Zeph, take us away.
In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg. He is known as Acer.Nerchio.
And his opponent in the upper right. I feel like I cast this guy more than anyone else lately. It's the blue Terran from CMStorm.Polt. Daybreak. Ah, I like this map. I'm sad that it's gone, but I'm also relieved at the same time.
Yeah, you and me both. It's one of those like legendary maps, just worked out so well in the end, but yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lot of tournaments are still trying to phase it out because they haven't quite worked out which maps they want to put in place of it. So I think it'll still hang around for a little while longer, but yeah, it's got a pretty short lifespan left on it.
Now ZVT, I don't know how Nerchio's VT is currently going from, but I'll tell you, Polt has been on fire, taking out players like Hyun and many others in the ZOTAC Cup on a very regular basis. Nerchio is a very good Zerg player, but this is probably just another game for Polt, I have to say.
Yeah, taking out a player like Nerchio is no small feat, but you're absolutely right. Polt's been on an absolute roll lately, so it'll be really cool to see how these guys go up against each other. ZVT is actually quite a tricky matchup for the Zergs, especially if you don't really quite understand just how to engage those pesky Widow Mines. But yeah, I mean, anything could happen.
Now, I'm not exactly shocked, but I am surprised Polt in Game 1 is going to go for the command center first on the high ground. This is playing it pretty damn safe. Nerchio is probably the only Zerg at the moment who's not employing the cat strategy of the hatchery block for the CC first on the high ground, but this will let Polt get away with so much more if he can establish this nicely. Typically, you'll see a Terran player get the barracks out as quick as possible so they can then get the reaction for the Hellions and just cause a lot of harass. But I think Polt knows, like, this is Nerchio. He's no small fry. I'm not going to be able to just tease him with 2 Hellions to win the game. So I like his thought process to go for command center first, at least in the first game of the best of 5.
Yeah, definitely nothing wrong with that, and he'll get a nice economy up very early. He's got the gas as well as the racks coming up, so he may very well go into that ever so common Reaper opening for the Terran, so we can get a good scout off and just double check that Nerchio isn't doing anything too crazy like a mass amount of speedlings early on or something just to try and catch Polt off guard. So you can get some good information there, and then he should be set to really dictate the flow of the game.
Now, it is a bit of a shame this is one of the few times, actually, Polt doesn't go Reaper first versus the Zerg. Even if he's not going to follow it up with more Reapers, at least a Reaper, because Nerchio doesn't have gas yet. And we all know, no matter how good your control is, as long as there's no speed on the field, a Reaper will just constantly be a big pain in a Zerg's butt.
Yeah, interesting that he didn't go for it, but he did have an SCV just kind of have a quick look around there. So I suppose he's satisfied with what he's seen so far, and he's like, okay, I don't think I'm in too much danger. I can just go ahead and drop this factory down and move into a different build. So he could still go Widow Mines. Widow Mine drop's a really common one as well. Even the Hellbat drops, I mean, gosh, talk about how ridiculous those have been lately.
Yeah, Hellbat's been a bit of a problem for every matchup, but I think a lot of Zerg players are starting to figure it out. Like, you take TLO, for example. I haven't seen Hellbats even phase him in the last 3 months. I mean, he just puts down the Spine Crawler, Spore Crawler, and he's good to go. And oh, can these Marines get the bunker in time? They will.
Yeah, not quite able to do anything there, but the links do see that the expansion's down, that there's a bunker, so that's some important information for Nerchio, just so he knows, okay, I'm pretty safe, I could probably take a third when I want, but he is actually going to get on the gas right now, work towards that speed and a bit more of his tech.
Well, Polt boldly taking that 3rd CC. Let's see what comes out of the factory. Hellions, okay, that does make sense. You can try and go Widow Mines if you go for the 3CC, but I mean, you're going to be forced to turtle at home, and we all know it's a cliche saying, but the best defense is a good offense, and if you got Hellions, you know, cleaning up creep tumors, poking around the map, you're going to be so much better off than just turtling at home with Widow Mines.
Yeah, and Polt's one of those guys that does a really good job at keeping his Hellions alive most of the time, so...
Yes.
Yeah, those Hellions, they last forever, they're super annoying, they clear up creep, they fry lings, and then they can just be added into whatever push Polt comes out with at the end of the day.
Well, he should be able to poke around here. Will he go to the 3rd and confirm it, or just take the watch? Looks like he's just going to take the watchtower for the time being, but Alright, yeah, gonna send a Hellion over to the third to scout what's going on. He would definitely like to start cleaning up creep, but right now this is a nice wall off. Nerchio's got double evolution chambers, a spine crawler, and more than enough queens to deal with these Hellions.
Yeah, I suppose the creep for the time being isn't too much of a problem as long as it stays on top of the ramp. It's more that when it starts to stretch out towards the third or down that ramp towards the watchtower that he'll be looking to fry it, so he can't really push it out. Also limits his vision. Nerchio still has a Ling placed at the tower near Polt's base, funnily enough.
Oh, pardon me, that's a hiccup, but yeah, this is allowing him to see all the Hellions coming out and streaming across the map, and Nerchio throwing down that Roach War in a very appropriate response, but I think the Roaches are really only going to be used to deal with the Hellions because we do see the melee weapons on the way, so Nerchio is definitely focused on getting to that late game.
Yeah, just wants to shut those down, add a bit of beefiness to his army because he shouldn't really lose those very early on, and then they can be used to just bulk up his army a little bit when he has to engage the Terran, and in the meantime he has gone up for that flare tech as well.
That is so cool. Do you see what Polt's doing with the rocks here?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is great.
Wow.
He doesn't, okay, so like, he never actually confirmed the creep tumors going down, but he's got to know at this point, like, I've played against Zerg thousands of times, there's always going to be creep tumors around those rocks, so it's actually really creative. We've seen players in the past attack their own Hellions to take out creep tumors, but going for the rocks like that, I like that move. That's really cool.
He is on it too. That's actually a lot of Hellions. He could take these queens down. Nerchio micros that hurt one back, but he does need to be a little bit careful. But the Roaches are actually going to pop out now in the Spire. About a third of the way done, so it won't be too long before he can get rid of those Hellions off the map and perhaps start poking at Polt's mineral line if he's not prepared for that Mutas threat.
Yeah, actually, Nerchio's not actually made his way into the base again. Oh, with another creep tumor snipe, very nicely done. But he's morphing in the Overseer at the natural. He hasn't actually seen the infrastructure of Polt yet. He doesn't have confirmation. Is it bio? Is it mech? But it's Polt. It's never going to be mech.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about being able to predict your opponent. You can kind of comfortably pick your build and be like, alright, he's most likely not going to do this crazy stuff, so I'm sweet to do my usual thing, and ooh, even denying that third base with the Overlord spitting out some creep. That's really nice for him.
Oh, that's annoying. That's going to take a while to clean up. And
yeah.
actually, Polt's got not a lot of anti-air to really move out in the field and clean it up with. This creep... Oh, okay, he's going to borrow some Widow Mines, actually. Pop, pop.
And down it goes. Very nice move there. Another Widow Mine out further from the third. I really like that positioning just to kind of... if any units come in there to try and deny it, they're going to take a big shot to the face.
Yeah, it's like a warning. That's just like, stay back, this is your warning shot. Get the hell out of my base.
Indeed. Mutas are out on the field right now. 8 of them, in fact, with the +1 upgrade coming out as well, and the 2/2 ground upgrades following up with that. So really standard ZVT style from Nerchio. Let's see if these Mutas can do anything.
This might hurt. Polt actually doesn't have a lot of his base. Normally you'd see a Terran player at least put a turret down, but nothing. And then Mutalisk coming right into the mineral lines. They're going to find these SCVs on guard and Marines popping out, but these Marines, they don't have combat shield. They've got stim, but they're going to pop very quickly to these Mutalisks.
Yeah, Nerchio is more than happy to engage small numbers of those. This is a few too many, though. He needs to get out of there. He loses half his Mutas in that exchange. And although he did manage to get a few kills, 6 worker kills, I don't think it was worth the 4 Muta deaths at all.
Yeah, so much for that warning shot. These 3 Roaches, they just take the hit and continue pushing on to the third base, sniping off even more workers. Total of 10 killed at this point. For a couple Mutalisks, not too bad of a trade, but he doesn't want to have to lose these Roaches this early. Can he get another 1 or 2 SCVs? It doesn't look like it. Takes a Marine down with him, though. Trooper Roach. Meanwhile, those Mutalisks back in action here at the Natural.
Yeah, he's actually doing a really great job with what he has. He's up to 15 workers killed, doing some nice damage. And this is also keeping Polt off his back while he gets his own macro up. He's taking a 4th during all of this. It's starting to make some units, getting speed, and heading towards that hive. So all this time, Polt really hasn't been able to do anything about this.
Yo, I want to point out something funny that happened there too. Polt was kind of just running away with his Widow Mines when he realized, like, oh, I can just burrow these and attack the Mutalisks. But again, good to complete that full wall off. Doesn't want to get caught by a run-by like that again. Now, of course, supply depots are not the sturdiest thing in the world, but they will prevent those Zerglings from instantly getting into your mineral line.
Indeed, and it looks like Polt may actually be looking to move out in a sec. The Mutas do spot that force. The Widow Mines, Hellions, and Marines, actually quite a nice combination of units. Lings will definitely have a hard time against that. But let's see
I
if
like
actually
this
makes it
spread.
out.
Almost making a star out of the Widow Mines. I think Polt knows, like, there's going to be Banelings on the field sooner or later. And okay, Mutalisk does get taken out by that one Widowmine. Kills the Overseer. Oh, so well done. Now there's no way to pick off that one Widowmine, but there's also no... Oh, there is a single turret here. But the supply depots are not guarded. They are going to go down if he doesn't react.
Nerchio being so annoying. His units are just everywhere all the time. Even bringing Lings in with this, getting more SCV kills in the third.
Oh, and he's going to run into the natural. Oh, the supply depots are down, Zeph. They're going to get right into those mineral lines.
Oh dear. Luckily there's some Marines nearby to clean that up though, and the Mutas a little bit stuck actually behind the third, but the unit's not paying attention for 1 second. He will be able to pick up some kills and then hightail it out of there.
I really like these trades out of Nerchio. He's throwing a lot away to make it happen, but he's picking off more than enough workers and really minimizing the Mutalisk loss, which is the really expensive one. You can afford to throw away Zerglings. That's their role in this game. They are the throwaway units, but Mutalisks, man, you need those to shut down drops. As we've seen here, Polt hasn't been able to move out at all, and that's kind of his signature thing. Polt likes to drop multiple times and then followed up with a big Doom drop, sort of finishing killing blow, but he's not been afforded the opportunity with the Mutalisk roaming, and oh my goodness, still the third base. Can't even get that turret up.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Nerchio's just been so persistent, but the Ultras, oh my gosh, the Ultra Dan is halfway done. He really wants those Ultras, but he hasn't quite been able to.
Oh, the Baneling's gonna connect to a lot of the Widowmites. Oh, some big hits go off, but I think really Nerchio managed to kill most of those Widowmites before they burrowed. There's only about 5 remaining. 4, sorry.
If he holds this off, he's in an insane position with that Ultra Den finishing up. He will have Ultras soon, but has Polt hit the one timing just before Ultras are out?
He's actually got a Thor on the way, which I find hilarious, but there's too many Banelings and not enough medevacs here. So much Green Goose, so much death, so much carnage, and unfortunately Polt's losing the majority of his forward force. But not for nothing, Nerchio really behind the resources lost. I mean, the Banelings are so powerful, but you can only use them once.
Yeah. Well, he still has a fair few Bioforces out, and this is the trademark Polt style. Once he starts attacking, he never stops. He just keeps coming back again and again, but more units getting caught out in the middle of the map.
Oh, big hit on these Marines! Actually spreads just in the nick of time.
Wow.
I can't even believe Polt kept this many Marines alive.
Very nice spreads. The Ultras are out now though. Where are they? Here they are. A few Banes moving in as well, but that's a lot of Bio. Needs to be careful, needs to make sure he engages all together.
Yeah, there's a good chunk of Ultralists here, not a lot of Marauders. They will shred these Marines if Polt's not careful. I mean, there's a lot of Marines, but here's that Thor.
It's going to actually do a ton of damage to those Ultras, and Nerchio is forced to back up for the time being, regroup once again. He's got a couple of Infestors coming out as well, but really Polt holding on so well with his Biomicro.
Polt actually forced to use the medevac boost just to get back to his 4th in time to kick those Zerglings out.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as Polt's doing a great job being aggressive, so is Nerchio. He's not just sitting here turtling up and like, okay, I got 1 billion Marines, how do I deal with this? No, he's sending small amounts of units, he's constantly hitting all game. We've seen it with the Mutalisks, with the Roaches, now with Zerglings. If you can just find that hole in Polt's armor, I mean, everyone knows, if you can just, it's not about gutting the Terran's economy. If you can get up into the main, start killing their production, that's game.
Yeah, Nerchio's multitasking has been pretty sick this whole game, but Nerchio's going to come in again
from 3 different angles, no less.
The Widowmine's getting the hits they need. The Ultra's actually getting very low. Where are the fumbles? Are there any? The Infestors just getting shredded before they do anything, and all the Ultras are going to go down.
Congrats coming out of Nerchio. Game 1 going to go to Polt.